Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Greene here with you once again. Before I get to the meat of this video, something I wanted to mention before I forget. I saw something on the news feed this morning about the fucking mayor of Chicago who looks like that sloth from Ice Age. She said that she is going to forgive all library debt. Why? To combat generational poverty. That's right. They've been doing all these social programs and putting money here and putting money there. But all you had to do was forgive the library book debt of everybody, and that will help fight generational poverty. Are you fucking serious, Mayor Lightfoot? You can't be this stupid. How many people got shot over the weekend in Chicago? What is it? Between 4,000 and 5,000 people get shot every year in Chicago. Hundreds get murdered, and you're gonna forgive library book debt. What a fucking waste of time. Why do these politicians get paid so much money to dodge work? They get paid exorbitant amounts of money to not do work. What the fuck is forgiving library book debt gonna do for generational poverty in Chicago? Why don't you combat the flying bullets first? Then we can worry about some fucking library books. And it said that 1 out of 5 people with outstanding library debts are under 14. Well, talk to their parents and tell them to give them money to pay the debt to the library. Like, why are you even focusing on this ignorant shit? While you were passing this rule or law, executive order, whatever it was, 8 people probably got murdered. This is the stupid shit that they're doing. Library books? That's going to help generational poverty? How about the family? Why don't you focus on that and it'll stop this generational poverty bullshit you keep talking about? Fucking library books. Anyway, I'm not going to get any more calm after this. So, your girl, Loco Cortez, your motherfucks, her womb is so polluted. She got my fucking baby, man. Oh, man. Anyway, this dumbass is now rolling out phase 2 of her social teardown of America. She is releasing another horde of socialist termites on the log cabin known as the United States. This time, it's not the Greene New Deal. No. That was the environmental phase, okay? This tackles the societal phase, all right? This is going to cure all of our ills. It's called a just society. My bad. I thought we lived in one already. Anyway, so a just society is a series. She calls it a suite of 6 acts and then 1 resolution, which she didn't get to in her video, but here are the 6 acts. Number 1, recognizing the Poverty Act. She talks about in her Twitter video how 40 million Americans live under the poverty line and 18.5 million are severely poor, which means they make less than $2 a day. Who in the fuck makes less than $2 a day in America? Homeless people. So this Recognizing Poverty Act is going to get all the homeless people off the street. Okay. Recognizing poverty. I thought we recognized that. Does anyone not recognize poverty? Does anybody not know about poverty? This is more government power. We're handing it over to the government. They're saying, you people don't know what to do. We'll take over. That always works out, right? Number 2, Place to Prosper Act. Guys, people need a place to prosper. Somehow the rules we have in place right now in our society aren't good enough. So they need to be better. Everybody needs a place to prosper, a place to lay their head that is clean and affordable. You can get that if you get a good enough paying job. I'm so tired of hearing this. I can't feed a family off of minimum wage. You're not supposed to be able to, fuckhead. You're not supposed to be able to feed your family of 4 or more off of flipping burgers or any other minimum wage job. Minimum. You're not supposed to give your family the minimum. What the fuck are you doing? If you're raising your family off of a minimum wage job, you fucked up. It's up to you to fix it, not the government. They can't do shit right. That's your responsibility to take care of the family that you created. No stork came out of the sky and dropped a baby on your fucking porch. You got on top of someone and went, ugh, ugh. Or you laid down and let somebody go, ugh, ugh, on top of you. That's your fucking problem. Fix it. Number 3. Mercy in Re-Entry Act. This goes out to the convicted felons. And of course, for each one of these acts, they have some poor person to give their account. Like this one, the Mercy and Re-Entry Act is some poor white dude with face tattoos all over the place. You think your face tats might have something to do with you having a problem getting housing or a job? Anyway, this is about the re-entry for convicted felons. Yes, it's hard for you to get a job because of your past, because of the time you spent in prison. Yes, it's hard for you to find housing, but you know what? Keep going until you do. I got a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who served more than 11 years in prison. That motherfucker got out of prison, got his life together. He got me a fucking job. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about you need the government to come and fucking help you. You fucked up your life. You got in trouble. Fix it. Keep trying to get housing until you find it. Keep trying to get a job until you find it. Government fucking handouts aren't going to do anything but make it worse and give them more power. Number 4. The Embrace Act. People, you need to embrace these immigrants. No, they're not illegal aliens. Don't you say that. And if you say it in New York City, we'll fine your ass. Check out that video I did. That's some bullshit. It's the Embrace Act. You hear these words? Embrace. Bring them in closer. Hug them tight to your bosom. And give them your tax money. She had people in this video, it was a Now This video, that fucking left-leaning liberal granola head dirt fucker website. So they had people in this video, like I said, after each one of these acts, there's somebody, this is what this means to me and what I think and all this bullshit, right? So the Embrace Act about the illegals, they had some people speaking in Spanish. Hold up, motherfucker. Why are you still speaking Spanish? Why were you not speaking English in that video? Why the fuck should we embrace you and you haven't embraced our culture? You haven't embraced our language. You haven't embraced our laws. Because if you did, your fucking ass wouldn't be here illegally. Embrace Act. Embrace this. Take your ass out of there, embrace a spot in line, and come here legally. And you won't need the Embrace Act because you'll have money and employment if you come here legally, you fuckers. Embrace Act. How the fuck you gonna have people on there speaking Spanish? Get the fuck out of here. You embrace our culture first and we might embrace your ass back. Uplift. Number 5. Uplift our Workers Act. This act is going to give us more of what we already have. You ever heard of OSHA? They go around making sure your work environment is safe and clean and you're not under slave labor conditions. You know, liberals, the same slave labor that these Chinese kids engage in to make your fucking iPhone so you can get on the internet and tell us how fucking woke you are. You piece of shit. Embrace workers. That's just another way to get unions involved. That's another way to get the government involved in government contracts and who gets what. Basically, if you follow their rules and embrace the Uplift Act, then the government will give you contracts first versus the ones who don't engage in the Uplift Our Workers Act. Uplift? Stop that shit. Who needs to be uplifted? Motherfucker, give me a job. I'll uplift myself. And number 6. Ratify the UN Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. What the fuck does that mean? Basically, it's a way of them telling the rest of the world how they need to do shit. You need to give your workers all the shit we're giving our workers through our socialist programs. Right, because China and India and all these other filthy countries, and no, I'm not saying the people are filthy, I'm talking about their economic and their ecological practices. You know, the most polluted countries in the world, the filthiest countries in the world. They're going to look at this and go, oh, shit! You mean to ratify the UN Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights? Of course we'll partake in that. What have we been doing? Hey, workers! Get out of those mines. Clean that soot off your face. We're going to totally redo shit because AOC said so in America. They don't give a fuck. Shut up, dummy. What happened? Did you burn through all your crayons? They're all dull now and you need some new ones? Somebody in there, get that woman a brand new box of 64 Crayola crayons. You know, the good ones that got the flesh color in there. Get her some new crayons, some new books, so she'll leave us the fuck alone. And another thing I noticed in this video, they had all the people they had in there, you know, talking. And one lady was speaking in Spanish, of course, and she said, a just society, this is what all the people who are talking in this video are saying the same thing. A just society means this, depending on which act they're talking about. So this lady was talking about, I'm going to do an accent because I don't speak Spanish, but if she were speaking English, I imagine this is what she would sound like. She said, to me, a just society is a climate, y healthcare, y housing. What? Climate? You see how they snuck that in there? You think these people give a fuck about climate change? You think these people that come from these poor ass countries where they only eat protein once a week, they give a fuck about recyclables? Come on. But another thing I noticed, every person they had talking was black, white, or Latin in some way. I don't know, the Cuban, Mexican, whatever. Those are the three races. You didn't see any Indians where the push or pull start. You didn't see any Africans. You didn't see any Arabs. You didn't see any Jews. And you didn't see no fucking Asians. You know why? Because all those groups of people have the lowest number of out-of-wedlock births. Low number of out-of-wedlock births equals financial success in America. Asians have under 17% out-of-wedlock births. They're the most wealthy. Coincidence? I think not. Mexicans, other Latins, whites and blacks have the highest number of out-of-wedlock births. It goes white people at over 25%, Mexicans at 50%, and blacks at 75%, damn near. So that's why you didn't see those other races on that video, because it would have been a waste of their time, because they're not poor and they don't have these fucking problems. You know why? Because their families are intact. The government doesn't incentivize their women to have babies on their own. Their communities aren't all fucked up. They're not poor. All this bullshit doesn't apply to them. Because they don't live in this world. Because they don't have babies unless they're married. Take all this a just society, Greene New Deal, put it Take a empty one of those cardboard tubes from the paper towels when you're done. Take both of these, shove them inside of that, bend over, bite down on something, and shove it directly up your fucking ass. We don't need this bullshit. More government is bad. There's a short list of things we need the government for. Digging us out of poverty and other societal problems is not it. The family will fix that. I don't care what anybody tells you. Look up the numbers. Don't believe me. Look up the numbers. Fixing the family will fix everything because family is the foundation. If your foundation is cracked or fucked up, anything you build on it will crumble. Hello? All your social programs, ratify this, embrace, care, love. Shut the fuck up. I can get all that at home from my family, not you. When you have an intact family, it's your best shot at life. Having mom and dad, a golden retriever, and a white picket fence is no guarantee, but it's your best shot. Look at the statistics of what happens when you don't come from a nuclear family. You drop out of school, you're poor, you're more likely to be in prison. 70% of fucking inmates come from single parent homes. Is that a coincidence? But you got Loco Cortez and these other fucks pushing this. You know why? Because they're the beneficiaries of it. They will be in power. Of course they're gonna push it. A just society. We have one. The fact that you can get up there and say that and nothing happens to you shows that we have a just society. We honor women, children, and the elderly. That's the sign of a just society. You have rights here. That's the sign of a just society. The police and government can't just come do what they want to you. Other citizens can't without repercussions, without punishment. A just society. You're too late, Loco Cortez. Loco Cortez. We already have one of those. So what's next? What's going to be the next phase of your let's fuck up America plan? I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what happens the next time she runs out of crayons and juice boxes. You know what they say about idle hands? They should be used to slap people like this. You politicians are straight up 100% organic dog shit. My apologies to any dog shit that might be watching. This is more bullshit, and there's a lot of soft-headed dummies out there who are like, yeah, that makes sense. We should love everybody and give everybody everything. You dumbasses. Man, let me get out of here and enjoy the last part of my weekend. It's my Sunday. I don't want to talk about it. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because as we all know, every time that notification bell rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Oh, I wish that was true. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Greene. Man, I'm out.